Welcome. My name is Christina Nicole.
And I'm George D.
And we are live and direct from Studio C.
You are listening to episode 1 of the Right Beside You podcast.
That's it, Right Beside You. We are definitely not professionals. We're just hanging out, having some conversation.
So let's jump right into it. Where are we going to start today?
I think we should start off with who we are. A little intro.
Okay. Why don't you start the people off? Let them know where you're coming from.
You want me to describe myself?
Yeah, describe yourself. Or would you like me to describe yourself?
I think you should describe me.
Well, Christina is a very spontaneous, unstructured,
yep,
spur of the moment type of person.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to plan anything. She's also not very caring.
Yeah, that's it.
And she is she's not very beautiful either.
Thank you.
She's not very easy on the eyes.
Harsh.
She hates the beach.
Ugh. Why? Why do people go to the beach anyway?
She loves going out drinking until 2 in the morning. It's her favorite thing in the world.
Party!
And she did not plan this podcast out at all.
Well, thank you for that.
Well, was that a good description?
I think that was on point.
Okay.
Accurate. Shall I describe you?
Yeah. Go ahead and take a stab at it and see if you can nail me down.
Well, where do I start with George? He is super, super clean.
Wow.
That was a compliment.
I feel like it was backhanded.
He cannot stand working on his car. Like, if his car breaks
that's
down,
the worst.
he is taking it into a mechanic because he doesn't even know where to start. Like, what's a tool?
I hate cars.
What's a wrench?
Hate them.
He would not drive a bike, a motorcycle bike or a scooter or anything like that.
Terrified of them.
Because, like, it doesn't even make sense to him. Why 2 wheels?
No, God gave you 2 feet, so if you want to ride on 2 of something, you use your 2 feet.
Yeah, for sure. He eats extremely slow. Like, I'm finishing my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He's still on his appetizer.
Wow, yeah. I never thought of that.
He's definitely short.
Okay.
I was like, what?
So in case you didn't pick up on the sarcasm there, we're doing opposites attract. So because we started off with kind of the opposite features of everything that each of us are, we wanted to use that to highlight how 2 opposites can attract and coexist.
Okay. That was news to me. So I wasn't prepared.
I should probably read the episode script. So the way we first met, Christina had a boyfriend of like 30 years.
Oh, wow.
We were in college. And she claims that she used to always come up and try to say hi to me. I don't think that's true because she talks about how loyal she is and she don't need no other man other than her man. And she had a man.
Wow.
So she curved me. But then some time later, some 5-6 years later, found ourselves in a proximal position to each other. That's my TI word of the day, proximal. It means close. And I just slid into her DMs on Facebook Messenger, you know, how the kids used to do it back in the in the 2015s, and we ended up going out for coffee. I didn't know she didn't drink coffee.
And I didn't want to go. But I gave my verbal commitment, and something that's extremely important to me is following through, and I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be flaky. So I was like, oh, I literally went in my pajamas, which consists of a lot of times sweats.
She looked amazing.
Sweatshirt and a beanie, a Raiders beanie. That I don't even know why. I looked a hot mess. And I was like, oh, this should be like 15, 20 minutes. Ended up being
4 hours later.
4 hours later, and they kicked us out of the coffee shop. I'm not sponsoring anyone. So we went in the parking lot and we started hanging out there doing random stuff. Like, what were you doing? Like taking pictures,
Dribbling a
basketball. And I was like, oh, okay. He started talking about his car, of course, since he hates cars.
Yeah, I took her for a ride at a felony speed down the freeway. She had never gone that fast with a real player like me.
I thought I was gonna die.
And then we just started hanging out while I was out in her area going to school. And then one day I moved away.
That was the saddest day because he moved away and I helped him pack and clean his apartment after, I think he fed me Pokey or something.
I did feed you Pokey.
And I would definitely use you to go swimming in your apartment complex during the summer.
The Pokey was actually one of our first disagreements because we went to this restaurant and I got her a bowl, I got me a bowl, and then I got me a bowl for later. So she ate her bowl, I ate my bowl, and then she's like, I'm hungry, can I have some of your bowl? I'm like, you already ate your bowl. This bowl's for me for later. So that kind of started our conversation on sharing, but we'll go over sharing another time. But I just thought that might be a little highlight to slide in there.
Okay.
But anyways, I moved away.
He moved away back to where he came from, and he never looked back until 9 months later.
I'd just been hit by a car.
He was hit by a car, he smashed his fingers or something.
Yeah, I'd had pretty much the worst week ever. I smashed my fingers in a garage door, and then 2 days later, got hit by a car walking across the street.
Yeah.
So I was off work, and I went to a drag racing event that was halfway to her house, and I just hit her up and said, hey, I'm kind of in your area. You want to grab Pokey or something?
Yeah, I definitely remember that night vividly because, again, I don't know what it is. I think it's the introvert in me. I did not want to go. I just got out of a relaxing massage, and I was like, dang, I forgot I have to go meet this guy who left me, and I have to meet him for dinner. But, I'm always hungry, always trying to eat. So I was like, fine, I'll go.
And once again, we ended up going out to the car. I had my ukulele with me for some reason.
Yes.
And we were playing ukulele in the car, and she says, hey, you want to go back to my place?
That was not how it happened. What happened was, okay, this is what really happened.
Your boy is smooth.
He wanted to see my new house that I just purchased because prior to me purchasing it, we were discussing, what I wanted to buy and all the goodies of that. So he was along in that process, and he had never seen my home because he left. Remember, guys? He left back to his hometown. So I was like, okay, if you want to see my place, then, you can come check it out. So fast forward, he came, he saw, he left back home, but he left a piece of him, his prized possession instrument ukulele, Uncle Uku, behind at my house. Why? Because he wanted to come back.
I actually just forgot it, but
okay, well,
she saw that I had forgotten it maybe 2-3 minutes after I left on an hour and a half journey back to LA.
Wow.
And she saw it and she said, "No, I'm just going to let him figure it out." So I realized that I'm probably about an hour away from her house, and I go, "Oh shoot, I forgot my oop." And I call her, I go, "Hey, did I leave my oop there?" She goes, "Yeah, you did. Guess you have to come back." I go, "All right."
This is so inaccurate. I text you, I was like, "Hey, you left your ook here." We're not going to agree on this. So again, agreeing to disagree on the truth versus his story.
Okay, cool. I got my lyric of the day already. Thank you.
Okay.
But anyways, I didn't know that I left Uncle Uku here until maybe an hour after I left, and it wasn't worth it to drive back on a Saturday or Sunday night, whatever night it was, knowing I had to go to work the next morning. So I ended up just going home, and then I came back the next weekend.
Yeah.
And then I came back the weekend after that. And then I just never stopped coming back. And that's pretty much how our relationship started. I would say the first date.
Oh, yeah.
That next weekend, I called her up and I said, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" She said, "Nothing." And so I said, "All right, cool. Be ready at 10 a.m. I'm coming by and I'm kidnapping you." She goes,
That happened.
"Where are we going?" I said, "No one tells you where you're going when you're getting kidnapped. I'm kidnapping you. Just be ready. Wear something cute."
No, that was my thing. I'm like, what are we doing? How do I have to dress? Are we going to the beach to go swimming? Because, that's a different outfit than we're going to the snowboarding mountains. It's all different. So I need the type A person in me. I'm just like, all right, I need to prepare. I need to bring a bag of extra clothes. And he's just not that way. He's just like, oh, get in the car. Let's go.
So I took her to this art installation that they had set up in the middle of the desert in Palm Springs. It was a house made completely of mirrors. It was like a big fun house for adults.
That was pretty dope. Yeah, the mirror house. So that was cool. I really gave you props on that because it was something extremely different, something that I never even knew existed. I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. But I did think he was going to do something. I'm like, are you really going to kill me? Because we were driving for days.
Yeah, we were driving through the desert. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nothing out there past the Salton Sea. And there's just, it's literally just road and land. So
yeah.
she got a little bit nervous, but it turned out okay, right?
I'm alive still, so that's a good thing.
Excellent.
And I think, I don't know, after that we just started meeting each other's families and...
Yeah, that's right.
They couldn't get rid of me.
Yeah, she came to my aunt and uncle's birthday party. I showed up to her brother's wedding.
Yeah. People were like, whoa.
Both of them were unannounced. It was just like, oh, who's this person?
Yeah, it was like, hey, I think you told your mom, I'm bringing a date. And she was like, uh-huh,
yeah. She didn't even believe me.
Whatever.
Then I told her it was a man, and she really didn't believe me.
Oh, now I'm a man.
You are not a man. You want a man.
So yeah, I think overall our experience together from the very beginning has been very spontaneous, and it started off as just hanging out, friends. I thought he was definitely not interested in me because...
To lovers.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so smooth. I'm like...
No, he's just like, I'm the homie. Like, yo, what's up?
I'm like fine silk. I'm that smooth.
I'm like, hey, I'm going to go swimming in your pool today after work. You don't even have to be home.
I made sure I was home. But then we can fast forward in the relationship. We've had a solid 3 years. And now there was a day that everything changed.
Ooh. we're getting into that.
Oh, we're jumping straight into it.
Whew! I would say, yeah, in between those 3 years, there were a lot of, for sure, ups and downs, and one of the, I guess, downs or low parts was that I got in an accident on my bicycle, and, luckily, I walked away in an ambulance.
She didn't break her leg.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I broke my wrist in 2 places, my distal radius and my ulna, and I got really bad road rash and bumps and scrapes on my head, but yeah.
So I guess the short version of that is she ended up having to have surgery, has very limited dexterity,
mobility, yeah.
And that kind of it changes everything because her job requires her to have that dexterity and that mobility in that hand.
And not only my job, just simple tasks around the home, like brushing my teeth, wiping my booty, eating, stuff that I would use with my dominant hand.
Putting on a shirt, showering.
Putting on a shirt, showering. I couldn't do any of those things alone. So I was heavily dependent on another person, and that person who stepped up was George, my boyfriend. So I definitely still appreciate and appreciated him through that entire process, I would say. And it brought us closer together. I would say it connected us further.
Yeah, but now she got a little dexterity in her hand. She don't need me no more.
It was definitely hard for me because I identify as just being very independent, and it forced me to ask for help, and that's something that I struggle with, just asking people for help. And George, on the other hand, one of his love languages is acts of service, so he was like, "Ooh, it's my time to shine." Those were his literal words.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah, he's like, "What can I do? Where do you need me?" And I was like, "Dude, I need to learn how to do this on my own, how to put on a shirt, because you're not always going to be here, in the sense of he has a job." But who knows?
You're my job.
Oh, wow.
Is that the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to you?
No, because there's no overtime here, baby.
I know. This ain't no 9 to 5.
I mean, you don't get paid any bonuses.
Oh, I do.
But yeah, so I think, that overall was a great experience for our relationship, and I wouldn't say I would do it again in the sense of I don't want to break any bones and have to experience the level of pain and surgery, because I do not wish that upon anyone. However, it brought us closer together, and for that I am forever grateful.
So, going forward from that, would you say that is the catalyst that has started this podcast?
I would say so, and I think, like I already explained, it's very hard for me to still, to this day, I think I'm 7 weeks post-surgery, to use my right hand, and that's my dominant hand, for simple tasks as writing and like doing my hair. So I'm definitely unable to perform my job duties that are required at the moment. I'm still, working through my stiffness. But I think it's made me realize that, maybe this happened for a reason. And I think that, God said, you need to switch it up, girl. You need to do something else. And I think just finding, or in search for that purpose, and what is my purpose in life, you know what I mean? On this journey of self-discovery or whatever that is, fulfillment, because I think that's important. And how am I using my talents and skills and just who I am as a person to serve the world and the community. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, I think this is the first step to figuring it out.
I'm still trying to, work through the kinks, but this is something that I can do as far as using my voice and my partner.
You have a beautiful voice. Why don't you sing something for the people?
How about you sing for the people? I'll back you up.
Okay. Sitting in the park, waiting for you. All right. That did not work, so I apologize for your speakers in advance.
We might meet that out.
Yeah, we might have to put that on the Patreon episode, make people pay for that. So, I guess we can close this thing off with a lyric. I already have one chosen out.
Okay, speak on it, brother.
This relates back to earlier in our conversation when you said that there are two sides to the story. My side and your side, which is the truth. And the great poet philosopher Aubrey Drake Graham once said, there's two sides to every story and three when the truth get told. So grab a spoon before your soup get cold. And when you drive it off the lot is when your coupe get old.
Wow, that was actually really good. I wasn't prepared with the lyric of the day.
No, that's the only one we need.
Okay, cool.
We only need my side. My side is the truth.
Okay. Well,
I shall not tell a lie.
We'll end with your side of the truth.
Anyways, thank you for listening to the Right Beside You podcast as we do life right beside each other. Because at the end of the day, I'm not above you.
I'm not below you.
I'm right beside you.
Cheers.
Never miss an episode by subscribing on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.